Hey guys, today we are going to learn how to paint some flowers. We're going to start with some really basic shapes. You can choose any color you want for these, and you want to have a small and a large brush. So we're first going to start with our small brush, and we're just going to do this simple pansy shape. And a pansy flower just has some circular petals, so just go with paint some circles in a ring like that. And then I always like to kind of take the time to kind of round out that center. And then what you can do is you can actually add some type of pollen in the middle if you want to use a yellow or an orange. A lot of times those work well. Once you've got that one painted, you're going to move on to another one. We'll do this one right here. We'll just continue with a small brush. That one right there is, again, you're starting with, if you want, you can kind of add that middle part first. So you've got your middle circle, and then you're gonna do some longer petals with your smaller brush. So you're just going to paint some thin, I like to do like 3 strips. So I do paint 1, 2, 3 and kind of curve them inward, and that gives you those nice long petals. Now what's kind of cool about this shape is some flowers grow up towards the sun and their petals kind of just flop open. So you can actually just leave this like that if you want, because it looks like this one where the pollen is just up towards the sky. Or you could finish it off if you want the flower to look like it's looking at you. Then you can always add petals up here at the top and have it go all the way around. And petals always grow in different spots, the wind blow them. They don't have to be perfect, so don't stress out about if some are bigger than others, if some have wavy movement. They actually look more realistic if you let them have a little natural wave to them. My next one right here is like a rose or a pansy. And I always start with a little bit of like a spiral. So it's almost like you're making the number 6 or 9. You just kind of start in the middle and keep twirling around, and then you make some curves around that point. Okay, and then the next 2 we're gonna use the big brush like this, and you're going to just create some bigger petals coming from that center circle. And again, none of these are perfect. This one's got a lot more petals in it. I kind of round out that center part. I'm gonna do one like this too, where it looks like this flower is just kind of hanging open. So you can do that. And then I paint the centers with the yellow. And then the final one I'm going to do is with just some small dots. So I'm just gonna create some small dots, and with my paintbrush I'm just making little paint, and then I try to barely touch it so that it's just the tip of my brush. So as I go up, I touch the paper less and less and less, all the way till I get to the end where I'm barely touching that paper. And then you take a green or whatever color you want your stem to be, and you just kind of make a line that goes through the whole thing. And while we've got that green, you can kind of practice some lines going up to your flowers. You can even practice some petal shapes like this. You can practice some that have more petals just by making some long line, some little oval shapes with your small brush. You can have your petals be even. You can have them have grasses coming up. And you can even do some of these fun little Dr. Seuss looking things where you just kind of keep taking your brush and pointing it out towards the outside, and it looks like a little fuzzy dandelion. So that is our practice for painting flowers. Good luck. All right, so for our final picture, we're gonna really try to explore all those different flowers that we just practiced, but all on in one bouquet. So you're kind of gonna become a floral arrangement person, like someone who works at a florist. How would you design your bouquet? So I'm gonna start with, I think maybe some purple. I'm gonna do some of the big flowers first. And I'm just gonna kind of really let my petals flow everywhere, because I feel like when you have flowers that are all in a bouquet, they kind of get pushed in different ways in different directions. So it's nice to kind of give them some movement. I'm gonna choose colors that I think will go well with each other. So I'm gonna kind of mix some colors too. I'm gonna do some blues and purples. And, whoops. Some that might have. And then when you're making flowers that look like they're behind other flowers, you want to make sure those petals don't overlap, that they actually kind of just go behind them. And then if you want one to look like it's in front of the other ones, you'll just paint right on top in front of those ones. And if you ever added too much paint in a certain area, you can always wet it and blot it with a paper towel to kind of remove some of that, because I want to add some of the middle parts. And so I'm just trying to kind of put my bouquet together here. A lot of overlapping going on. I'm just gonna kind of keep filling some of these open spots with some other colors that I think might look nice. And then once I like how everything looks, I can add my final vase and some of the greenery. The greenery, and then I'm going to choose a color for my vase. I'm just gonna kind of add a watered down color for my vase so it looks like you can kind of see the branches, but maybe there's some water in it. And that's how I'm gonna do my bouquet of flowers. If you want to add some type of table that it's sitting on, you're welcome to do that. Or you could just leave your bouquet of flowers. Now try using different color schemes to make different bouquets, and you can keep making as many flower bouquets as you can think of.